Hello and welcome to PnTutorials. In this video, we will learn what a database table is and how you can create and use a database table. A database table is used to store data. It is a systematic structure of columns and rows. The vertical structures are columns or fields and data rows or records are horizontal. Each column represents the property of an item while each row is an item. A cell is a unit where a column and row intersect and the values are stored inside cells. Database tables have a specified number of columns, but it can contain any number of rows. A single database can contain multiple number of tables, but each table name must be unique. Before creating a table, we must select a database using useDatabase SQL statement. We can display all tables inside the selected database using showTables. Then we can create a new database table using createTable statement. The createTable statement inside parentheses contains column names and their data types. We can see the structure of an existing database table using describeTableName. We can delete an existing table using dropTable database SQL statement. Let's execute all these SQL statements and learn how to create and use database tables practically. Log into your MySQL database using your credentials. I will create a new school database here using SQL statement. Create database school. Press enter. We will be creating our database table inside the school database. So first of all, we need to select the school database using SQL statement. Use school semicolon. Press enter. As we just created this database, it doesn't have any tables. We can confirm that using SQL statement. Show tables semicolon. Press enter. And sure enough, we can see there are no tables in the school database. Let's create a new database table, and the SQL statement is create table name. Here we will name the table as students. Then inside parentheses, we will have to define column names and their data types. For this students table, we will create 5 columns named ID, first name, last name, class and age. So I will add an opening parenthesis. We can keep writing the SQL statement on this same line, but in order to make the statement clean and easy to understand, I will press enter and write the code on the next line. Please note, the SQL statement will not end until we add a semicolon symbol. I will enter the column name ID, then its data type, that would be int, which is the short form for integer. Unsigned means all values will be positive. No negative values will be stored in this column. Then we will add a not null constraint. It means this column will not store null values. Then the column value will be auto increasing. So I will add auto increment. Then I will add the auto increment column must be a primary key. So I will add another constraint here, that is primary key. Then I will add a comma symbol to add another column definition. I will press enter to add another column definition on the next line. The next column is first underscore name. It will store string values, so it will be a varchar. And the maximum characters this column can store will be 40. This column also won't store null values, so I will add a not null constraint, comma, press enter. On the next line, similar to the first name column, we will have a last name column. And this column will also store a maximum 40 characters long string value. So I will use the same definition, varchar 40 characters long and not null constraint. Press enter. On the next line, the next column, class will store string values like first, second, third and so on. So we will also define this column as class varchar. And the max string value will be 20 characters long, and the class column also won't store null values. Press enter on the next line, and finally there will be an age column. This column will store numbers and the number will be max 2 digits. So instead of integers, we can use tiny int. Since this is the last column definition, we don't need to add another comma here. I will press enter, and on the next line type closing parenthesis and a semicolon to end the SQL statement. Please note, if you are completely new to databases and couldn't understand MySQL data types, don't worry, I have covered it in a separate tutorial. You will find the link in the description. For practice, you can write the SQL statement as it is. Press enter, and the new database table named students has been created successfully. We can confirm if the table has been stored under our school database using show tables semicolon, press enter, and we can see the newly created students table. We can see the table definition using describe table name. Here the table name is students. Press enter, and we can see the table definition which we defined earlier. We can also add some data rows to our newly created table using insert into SQL statement. The SQL statement is insert into the table name students, in parenthesis name of the columns, first name, last name, class, comma age, parenthesis complete, values, in another parenthesis the values. Let's add some values like John Doe, comma first, and the age will be 5, semicolon to complete the SQL statement. Press enter. I will add one more row using press up arrow key to get previously executed SQL statement, and this time I will change the values. And for age I will enter 6. Press enter. Okay, I forgot to add a comma over here. Press enter, and another data row has been added successfully. Now we can see the data rows inside our students table using select star from students semicolon, press enter, and we can see the recently added 2 data rows over here. Finally, let's delete our students table using drop table name, drop table name, here students, semicolon, press enter, and the database table is gone. We can confirm that using show tables semicolon, press enter, and this time we don't see any table under our school database. The table and our data is gone. Please note, when you are deleting a table, you will not see any confirmation message. As soon as you execute the statement, the table and data will get deleted, and we can't recover a deleted table and its data. So always make sure you are deleting a correct table or backup your database before executing drop statement. So in this video, we learned about the database table and how to use the table. If this tutorial was helpful to you, like the video and subscribe to this channel. See you in the next tutorial.